Vegapunk announces live to the entire world that the planet is sinking to Straw Hat tonight to protect Robin from Saturn's attack, and we discover that Vegapunk might still be alive inside Punk Records even after his death. Watch until the end, because Bonnie is about to use the power of her devil fruit to crush one of the immortals. Last time on One Piece, the Marines celebrated their control over the pacifistas while continuing their bombardment. Bonnie turned vice admirals into babies and kicked them right after Edison calculated a 78% chance of dying, but still threw himself into the middle of the lasers. Meanwhile, Mars arrived. At Punk Records, with just 1 minute left on Vegapunk's broadcast timer, Mars lands on the largest brain on the planet. The transmission keeps going, and Vegapunk jokes that his coffee is still boiling, but everyone else had enough time to get ready for the video shocker. Reminds him 30 seconds left. Pythagoras gets nervous knowing the entire world is watching, as if they hadn't already seen him making coffee for minutes straight. Mars looks up trying to understand what he is seeing, something that survived even after the scientist's death. Could that be the real Vegapunk? And then comes the epic shot, the full view of Punk. Records a massive dome within another dome, literally the upper part of Vegapunk's skull. Mars questions what death even means for something like that. Could Stella's mind still be alive in there? One of the craziest devil fruit abilities ever shown. The snail transmits Stella's recorded voice to Pythagoras. The message will reach everyone through the Den Den Mushi network. He is proud of it, but admits sharing the truth carries a heavy burden. Mars raises his boot over the innocent snail. Cut to Syrup Village in East Blue, home of the legendary god Usopp. His old crew looks disappointed to find out Kaya doesn't have a video snail, even though she is the one who could marry. Points out how big those snails are, bigger than houses. Kaya mentions that Vegapunk is also a medical genius, info she probably learned because of her own health problems, though now she looks great. Onion pretends he already knew that, and Ninja immediately calls him out at Marine headquarters. Everyone gets ready for the start of the broadcast at Twin Cape. Crocus and Laboon follow everything using a regular Den Den Mushi, and back in Baltimore, Vegapunk's birthplace, a kid asks if the famous doctor really came from that island. An old man proudly confirms it. Vegapunk is their greatest achievement, but the boy thinks he is the one who caused the Baltimore disaster. The old man corrects him that was Frankie's fault. He even mentions hearing that the cyborg literally turned into a ship, wondering how long it has been since anyone has seen Vegapunk's face in the Bird Kingdom in South Blue, the same place where Chopper trained during the time skip. Someone says the broadcast must be related to that island. Another recognizes Vegapunk as the modern king of science, the man who created countless weapons. Meanwhile, in Hachinosha, the pirate island, chaos continues. Pirate politics never sleep. Vegapunk begins his global speech, capturing the world as attention back on Egghead. Before Mars can crush the snail, the shell opens, revealing the truth. It was just a regular Den Den Mushi used as bait, not the real transmitter, just a brilliant distraction. Enraged, Mars flies out of Punk Records in his massive animate form, cursing Vegapunk's name. Stella starts with a greeting. Shocker reminds him he already introduced himself, but Vegapunk says new people have tuned in, so he repeats it with the formalities. Over the show begins. Members of the Longarm tribe cheer curiously. Elsewhere, a kid walks out of a tent asking what is happening. A woman explains that someone important is about to make an announcement and tells him to go back to sleep. Mars feels embarrassed when the other immortals ask what he is doing since the transmission is still live. He apologizes, cursing Vegapunk again. The doctor was way more prepared than they thought. Now, there is no stopping the broadcast, and of course, the smartest man in the world had a backup plan. Mars says they don't know how much information Vegapunk has or what he is going to reveal. York reminds them that Stella planned to continue the work of the scholars of O'Hara. The immortals pause. They realize the scale of the problem. This isn't just another Clover, this is the direct sequel to O'Hara. Meanwhile, Vegapunk's unconscious body is still being carried by Sanji through the flames. Sanji asks if the doctor can hear the cries of a girl asking for help, and he confirms it. As Bonnie, who is in danger, Sanji spots her with others, and one of the immortals holds a sword above them. Sanji asks what that creature is. The immortal answers that he lines never let Bonnie steal their military power. Frankie steps between them, shouting for Bonnie to fall back, but Sanji cuts and ready to play hero, using the black sword as leverage. Sanji launches a blazing kick straight into the monster's jaw and makes it bleed. Sanji keeps stacking feats with his fiery legs. but the immortal doesn't react. His head bursts into flames, and a horse skull emerges from his body, biting Sanji until his bones crack. Luckily, he manages to toss Stella away before taking the full hit. Bonnie screams for Sanji in despair. A giant nearby notices the commotion and begins moving toward them. That horse skull bursting from a body, pure nightmare fuel. Dory and Broggy grab the new monster, giving Sanji space to escape. Bonnie activates her distorted future, growing into a giant version of herself. She towers above everyone and prepares to crush the immortal. His face twists with fury. Meanwhile, Vegapunk confesses to mortals since he says he knew he would be killed for his crimes, which means this message was programmed to start the moment his heart stopped beating. In Sabaody, people scream as they realize this confirms Vegapunk as death. His rivals freak out. Caesar fights back, tears, denying Stellar as death, especially after teaming up with Judge to try to surpass him. Morgans hates the idea of Den Mushi broadcast because they destroy his newspaper monopoly. After all, he has always been the one to break the news first. Before continuing, Stella makes one request: don't judge whoever took his life as a villain, no matter who it appears to be. He won't debate morality or ethics. At the same time, the Straw Hats face the sudden arrival of Saturn. He charges in, shouting for everyone to move. He has no time to deal with insignificant insects, but Robin freezes at that voice, the same voice from the tragedy of O'Hara. Saturn recognizes her, the child. So let escape. Robin realizes she is face to face with one of the 5 elders. Nami asks what that spider demon is saying, but understands the danger when one of its legs lashes out. She yells, "Protect Robin!" Zeus gets the message, and the whole crew jumps into action. Vegapunk admits that what he is about to reveal will be hard to believe. Mars trembles in rage and panic, unable to locate the transmission. York desperately tries to figure out where Stella hid the broadcasting snail. Afraid she lines lose her deal with the celestial dragons. And the craziest part, York had no idea this recording existed. If she had, the immortals would have stopped it long ago. Despite everything Stella says, he had to tell the world about one specific problem. The immortals keep communicating telepathically. Mars suggests destroying the power plant to stop the signal, but Saturn cuts him off immediately. They've already lost Marines and Admiral, 9 Vice Admirals, Seraphim, 3 generations of pacifistas, and they do lose access to the Mother Flame, something their master Ainu desires above all else. And then comes the bombshell. Vegapunk declares that the world of One Piece is going to sink beneath the ocean. The Marines look to the sky horrified. We see mermaids swimming with whales and skulls of fish. The fishmen are about to inherit the earth. Meanwhile, the Sky Islanders are probably already popping champagne. Devil fruit users start riding your wheels. And what many may have missed, Mars discovered that Vegapunk's mind still lives. His death is something else entirely. Sanji injured one of the immortals. Bonnie grew gigantic to crush another, and you're panicked because she didn't know about the recording that threatens her deal with the celestial dragons. And I am telling you, the ancient weapons and the Mother Flame are connected to the world as sinking, and Vegapunk is about to reveal how Joy Boy tried to stop it all. And that is the episode. Now tell me, if the world really is sinking and devil fruit users are doomed to drown, which faction survives? The Straw Hats with Jin and a potential alliance with the Fishman Island Blackbeard-esque pirates stealing swim abilities, or the Revolutionary Army joining forces with the Sky Nations? Pick your survivors and explain your strategy in the comments. And if seeing Vegapunk announce the apocalypse, Sanji getting bitten by a flaming horse skull, and Robin facing the ghost of O'Hara hooked you in, then you already know what to do. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell me which reveal shocked you the most: the world sinking or Mars discovering Vegapunk's mind still exists. Let us hit that goal before the ocean swallows everything.